Hi comrades, yours KVS. The next class for the postal assistant examination is going to be presented in this episode. Please go through the video minutely again and again and prepare yourself for the examination in a neat and effective manner.
Hello everyone and welcome to the fourth class, the fourth session of PO Guide Part 1. And the earlier three classes we have discussed about until the clause 54. And from this, in this fourth class, we'll now begin with the clause 55 of PO Guide Part 1. The clause 55 is very important. You cannot expect a question paper without this, any question from this post boxes and post back. So this is very important a clause in that PO Guide in examination point of view. So clause 55 is about the post box facility available in the post office. So what is the post box? Any person or any firm or any institution, those who desire to avail himself the facility of any mail being delivered to an individual, a personal post box, this facility is called post box facility. And this post box will usually be being designated by a number, a continuous number, and it will also be provided with a lock and key. So two keys will be there for such post box. One key will be with the concerned post office, and another key with the person who those who take rent of such post box. So in this post box, the very important point is that only fully prepaid unregistered articles of letter mail bearing post box number to be delivered through the post box facility. So only fully prepaid unregistered articles of letter mail bearing the particular postbox number should only be delivered through that postbox. So what are all the class of articles which can be delivered through that postbox? Inland letter cards, postcards, aerograms, unregistered newspapers, book packets. These kind of articles can be delivered through that postbox. So the article addressed to other person or firms care of that postbox, the renter of the post box will not be delivered except in case a legitimate personnel of the firm, if it is renting the post box, we can deliver the same to the legitimate, that is any legal personnel of the firm or institution, those who rented the post box facility. And also, it can also be delivered to the family members and guests of the renter. And also, it can be delivered to the wards, trainees, or inmates of any institution, and also to the casual visitors and commercial representatives staying with the renter of the post box. So, to these four persons also, we can deliver the articles by availing this post box facility. So, this is an example of post box. We'll be having continuous numbers. Each post box will be individually designated to one particular person or an individual or a firm. So the letter will be, it should receive that the person name, care of so and so post box number, so that all the articles designated to this post box will be open. The key will be open, and all the articles will be placed in that post box. So this is what about the post box facility. And another important point is what is the rent for availing this post box and post back. Post back we are going to discuss later in the next class. But what is the rent which the renter has to pay to the post office for availing this post box and back facility? So the post box or post back, when an individual or any institution, when they are willing to rent the same for one any separate for a particular financial year, for one full financial year, the rent is rupees 150. So anybody, those who want to rent a post box, either a post box or a post back separately for one complete financial year, that is from April to March, the fee is about rupees 150. So when a person he wants to take the rent of a post box or a post bag for a 3 calendar months or even a part thereof, the fees is rupees 50. So if an individual or a firm, if they are willing to take both the post box and bag together, then for one financial year it is rupees 250, and post box and post bag together the facility one has to avail for a 3 calendar months or less than that, the fees is rupees 80. This rent is very important in examination point of view. So the thing is, separately, if one wants to avail post box or a bag, the fees is rupees 150 for a complete financial year and rupees 50 for 3 calendar months or less than that. So when one is in need of both post box and bag facility together. In such case, for one financial year, it is 250 rupees, and for 3 calendar months or part, it is rupees 80. So this is what rent of the post box and post bag facility. And now we are going to discuss what are all the important points that one has to be taken care when one rent a post box. So a renter can get delivery of all the articles addressed to even other allied concerns. Somebody will have one institution and some other allied concerns whose head will be the same. So in such case, one can also get delivery of some other allied concerns through the same post box number on payment of a separate fee for that some allied concern. So this is one important point. So only, as I already told, and only fully prepaid unregistered articles will be placed through the post box. So in case of registered, insured VP articles and also money orders, those kind of articles will be delivered and paid only through the postman or the delivery agents. So if we found that no post box is found in the name of that addressee, or if the addressee is ceased to be the renter of the post box, such article will be written directly to the sender or the remitter. So if we find that there is no post box in that name, or he is found to be ceased to be the renter period is over, the article will be directly written to the sender. And those who are willing to rent that post box facility, he must present the application to the concerned postmaster. Such application should also be present with 2 separate individual witnesses who are not connected with him. So this 2 witness will not be insisted for in case of any government or semi-government institutions if they are willing to get the rent of the post box facility. And also the post office reserves the entire right to withdraw the post box facility if in case if it is found that the information furnished by the renter is found to be incorrect or in the later date, or it is found to be being misused by the renter. So if we find that if being misused and any information provided by him is found to be incorrect, we can withdraw the facility from him. In event of renter shifting his institution or his address to some other place, he should definitely inform the information to that concerned offices within 7 days from shifting his place to another. In the event of his failure, the post box is liable to be withdrawn. This is one another important point. And also, no renter is entitled to demand any particular number or in any particular row or position. So, he cannot demand that he needs a particular post box number. So, whatever been allotted from the post office, he has to take, and he cannot demand on any particular number or any particular row in particular. And also, the rent of renewal has to be paid in advance. It has to be paid in advance. No refund of whole or any part of rent paid will be given once upon the post box has been allotted to that person. If any claim in writing for such refund reaches the postmaster, before he makes allotment, he may admit such claim. So before being allotted, if a claim for the refund, we can give. But once it has been allotted, no refund will be given to the renter. And also, the rent paid for one post box, it cannot be adjusted for the rent of any another post box by the renter. And apart from paying the concerned fees for renting the post box, the renter is also intended to pay a particular quantity of an refundable deposit. It has to be paid on allotment of post box and before the key of the box is made over. So the refundable deposit is not being termed as any particular amount. So a good amount, a sufficient amount has to be obtained from the renter as a refundable deposit. And the key of lock or any lock is lost by the renter, or key of the lock or both or not in working condition, it has to be brought to the notice of postmaster, and he has to credit the cost of both lock and key as per the cost of loss, failing which the deposit shall be forfeited. In case of any problem with the key or lock, the concerned renter has to pay and he has to replace the same. And if the lock and key is not being surrendered by the renter within 15 days after the expiry of the rental period, then the deposit will be forfeited and no refundable deposited. The depositor will not be refunded to the renter. And if the renter surrenders the lock and key within 15 days of expiry, he may be granted refund of the portion of deposit representing the lock and key. So then only the same can be refunded. And no application for renewal is entertained unless it reaches the postmaster concerned before expiry of the period. That is, if your rental period is going to expire by this March, actually it is for financial period, right? So if you feel that if it is the case that the period of rental is going to end by 31st March, so then within 15/4 he has to give the renewal application to the concerned post office. So this is the thing. So within 15 days after the expiry of period, he has to give application for renewal of rental of the post box. So belated application will not be entertained at any cost. So the renter cannot demand the same post box which he was renting earlier at the same time. So the same post box is available, they will supply with the same post box. Some other post box will be allotted to it. And the period of rental of post box is from the first day of month of payment of such fees, and the renewal commences from the first day of month immediately succeed the period of previous rental. So this is very important point. And a delivery ticket will be issued to the renter. This ticket bears the same post box number as it allotted, and it is not transferable. The delivery ticket will be usually given to the messengers, those who come to clear the post box here. So the messenger, he or she can bring the delivery ticket and they can clear the post box at any time during the business hours of the post office. The renter will not have any right to get delivery to the post box of any article addressed to him without the post box number. And if in case any article could not be placed in that post box due to oversize, the postmaster will arrange for an intimation slip and the article will be kept in the delivery department. So in case of loss of key, the article can be delivered even across the counter. It can be collected and can be delivered across the counter. And if the renter fails to clear the post box for a period of a week, a notice will be issued through registered post. And even if they fail to clear, even after such notice, those will be delivered through the postman. And failure to clear post box too often will amount to misuse of the post box and it is liable to be withdrawn. So this is one other important point. So this is all about post box. So the important thing is the rent, the amount of rental, and what is the time period for renewal, that is within 15 days from the expiry, he has to made over, and other terms and conditions relating to the post box. So very, very important point in examination point of view. So the next clause is about the post bag facility. So in the previous clause, we discussed about the post box, where we'll be having a post box, we'll be having a number. So the post box will be allotted to an individual or an institution, and he can come and clear all the unpaid, unregistered articles, fully prepaid, unregistered articles, he can come and collect. Whereas the post bag facility will also serve the same purpose, but this facility is like it will be delivered in all the post offices. So whenever post box facility will be available only in some post offices, whereas post bag facility, it is available in all the delivery post offices. So in this case, the post bag, a bag will be there. So a bag will be there. The bag will be supplied with a lock and key. Two keys will be there, one with the postmaster and the other with the customer. So what the postmaster will do, he will collect all the unregistered articles intended to that particular customer. He will place all the articles in the post bag. He will lock the same and he will give the same to messenger. The messenger will take this and he will deliver the same to the customer. The customer will unlock the bag with the key available with him and take all the contents and all the unaccounted, that is unregistered articles inside the bag. This is about post bag facility. So this will be available in all the delivery post offices, even to the post offices where post box facility is not available. So in this case also, both lock and key will be supplied by the renter. The provisions relating to renting of post boxes apply. All the same conditions will be applicable to this post bag also. So the locked post bags or with all postal articles will be placed inside the bag as I discussed earlier, and will be handed over to the messenger, those who produce the delivery ticket, and these bags will be then after be delivered to the customer. These bags in combination with the post box, same number may be used for the fully prepaid unregistered articles, postcards, inland letter cards, newspapers, and book packets for posting. So the same, the rental applications and how to give renewal, the same will be applicable to the post bags facility also. So this is all about the post box and post bag facility. So the next clause is about window delivery. How to take and whom to take the window delivery of an article. Any person who is residing in an area, so he can take all the letters and articles received to his address, delivered to him regularly during the business hours at the window of a post office without any extra fee. So free of any charge, one can take window delivery. So this window delivery will be very helpful in a post office where no post box facility is available. In such case, the person can avail the window delivery procedure. So one may ask the concerned postmaster to deliver all the letter and all the accountable, unaccountable articles to retain articles in the post office till it is called for instead of being sent through the postman. So he can give a written application to retain all the articles intended to him to be delivered in person through him to window delivery, and not to send those articles through the postman or the window to delivery agent. So this charge for this is absolutely a free facility to the customers, and this the customer can get the window delivery of articles during the business hours of the post office. So this is all about the window delivery of the articles. So the next clause is about delivery of articles to the messengers sent from places not being served daily by the postman. So any person who is residing at a faraway place which cannot be served daily by the postman, so he can send his own messenger regularly to take delivery of articles in his address or to the address of members of his family. So in this case, an advance deposit has to be made by the addressee for adjusting any due amount to be paid by the addressee. So all the registered and insured articles will be delivered and money orders will be paid to the messenger only. So value payable articles will be delivered in accordance with the provisions of clause 43. That is, if the value is below 500, it will be made through the postman, and if it is above 500, it will be made at the window. The post office, if it desire, will provide at the addressee's expenses a bag furnished with a lock in which all the articles, cash receipts, acknowledgements, all the notices and coupons will be placed, and it will be delivered. Similar in case of post bag. But the one thing is, for this purpose, for this kind of purpose, that we will not charge any rent. For post bag, we'll be charging rupees 150 for a particular financial year, and rupees 80 for any particular quarter 3 months. But in this case, where we supply a bag in case of delivery of articles to the messengers sent from places not being served by the postman, the post office can provide a bag absolutely free of cost. So one key of the bag will be kept by the postmaster and another be by the addressee. So no fee will be charged for use of this bag for this particular purpose. So the next clause is payment of money orders to the messenger sent from places not served daily by the postman. So any person may authorize the postmaster to pay money orders to his own messenger in writing, and the postmaster will pay him all the amount to the addressee, to the messenger. So the next clause is about delivery of registered articles to the messenger or to the care party. So if an addressee authorized in writing, the postmaster will also deliver the messenger all the registered and insured articles and pay him all the value payable money orders. If the addressee authorizes, he can give anything. If the addressee does not authorize his messenger to receive accountable article, then the receipt and acknowledgements, duly signed has to be given, and the notices endorsed with receipts of payments, all it will be made over to the messenger. The messenger has to get the signature of the addressee and then it will be delivered. So it may be restricted to uninsured registered articles. In case of insured articles, it will be delivered and all the money orders paid only on written of receipts, acknowledgements, and notice signed by the addressee. So this is one important point. So an article addressed to any care of party of a general of any agent or will be delivered to the care party if it is not known that the post office that the articles can be at once delivered to the addressee himself. If we know that we can deliver to the addressee himself, we should not give to the care party. If we know that we cannot deliver to the addressee, then we can give it the same to the care party. So instruction received authorized the deliver articles or to pay the money order should be treated as lapsed after a time of 3 years unless renewed within the time. So generally, in respect of delivery, there are two kinds of instructions. One instruction is temporary instruction. Temporary instruction is nothing but whenever an addressee changes his residence, he has to give information about the same to the both the offices from which he departs and also to the offices where he goes. So in such case, whenever he shifts his residence, an instruction must be given, and the validity of such temporary instruction is only 3 months. In case the permanent instruction is nothing but whenever an addressee, if he is not if he cannot physically present himself at the place for taking delivery, he can authorize any agent, and in that case, whenever a person, an addressee authorizes another unauthorized agent, in that case, that authorization letter is so called as permanent instruction, and the validity of same is about 3 years. 3 years the validity of the same. So this is about how to deliver registered articles to messengers and to care party. So if the addressee authorizes the messenger to to get everything, we can deliver everything including registered, insured, and money orders. If he does not authorize, we will give all the receipts, acknowledgements to get signed, and only after getting the signed acknowledgements and notices, we can deliver the same to the messengers. In case of care party, if we know that we can deliver the same to the addressee, we will not give to the care party. But if we know that we cannot deliver to him in person, in that case, we will deliver the same to the care party. This is one important point. And the next clause is about delivery of registered articles and payment of money orders to the students or inmates in educational institutions. So such articles where we get registered or money order for a particular institution, such articles can be delivered to the head of the institution or any person who has been duly authorized by that institution by giving an undertaking that he or she will be held responsible for all the safe delivery, and it will reimburse the department to any loss in event of any complaint from the addressee. And in case of insured and money orders, it can be delivered or paid to the head of the institution or any authorized person only on executing an indemnity bond. In this case, we'll be receiving an indemnity bond, and only after that we will be giving all the insured and money orders will be paid to such persons only after executing indemnity bond, only with the permission of the head of the circle. So this is discussed about delivery of registered articles and payment of money orders to the students. So the next clause 62 is about how to deliver in articles for accounts with planters. Planters is that those who live in a faraway place having a huge plantation. So in case of planters or any other living at a faraway distance from the post office, units of defense services, or any business reply cards or any institutions or firms, the post office will arrange for a delivery of articles without requiring any daily settlement of postage due of unpaid articles, provided that a sufficient sum is deposited in advance by the addressees. As we discussed earlier in that for those daily delivery is not possible, the same case is also applicable mutatis mutandis to this planters also. In case of planters, we will get an advance, any particular advance amount, and after paying any sufficient sum, it will be paid to that addressees. And the next clause is about identification cards. What is an identification card? So these kind of identification card will be supplied by the post office for the benefit of tourists, traveling representatives, or any other firms or institutions or any other members of public for postal transaction. This identification card is not for any other purpose. This is only for the tourists, those who frequently travels from place to place. In such case, only for executing postal transactions, these kind of identification card will be made over. This identification card can be obtained from any head post office by any literate persons. The very important point, it can be get only by head post offices by any literate persons. This card will contain a full description of its holder, the signature and photograph, and the validity of this identification card is 3 years from the date of issue. This identification can be shown by the addressees at any post office to identify himself to receive delivery of any articles which has been received in that post offices, because he'll be frequently traveling. No people will know, no people can identify the addressees. In such case, this identity card will be very helpful to them. The fee for the same for getting this identification card is ₹9, and it will be obtained in the shape of postage stamp. So if one addressee loses, or if this identification card is lost by the addressee, a duplicate identification card will be issued by the same head post office on paying a fee of another ₹9 in the shape of postage stamp. So identification card is the purpose of getting delivery at any other post offices, and the validity is 3 years. ₹9 fee should be obtained in the shape of postage. If in case he lost his identity card, we can issue the duplicate by paying additional ₹9 in the shape of postage stamps. And the next important one point in PO Guide Part 1 in examination point is the post restant, the facility of post restant. What is a post restant? Post restant is a service where a post office holds a mail of any recipient until the recipient comes and call for it. So the post office will detain the articles for a specific number of days, for a particular period of time, until the addressee comes and calls for it. This facility is called as post restant. So this is a French word meaning to retain. This kind of service will be very convenient and very helpful for the strangers and travelers who will be on in continuous travel like that. Though for those people, this will be very helpful, because the post office will be retaining, and once when he come back to his place, he can come and collect at the post offices. So very important point is this post restant facility can be availed by any strangers or travelers not more than 3 months. This facility can be availed not exceeding 3 months of time. All the articles which has been superscribed as to be kept till call for, or to await arrival, or in any similar way. So this kind of articles will be categorized as a post restant, and the same will be retained by the postmaster for specific number of time. So this is one. So for availing this kind of facility, the addressee should give the full name and address, and he should not use any initials or figures or any surnames or any fictitious or false names, or any conventional marks is not admitted to avail this kind of facility. So the next clause is, we have understood that in post restant, the post office will retain the article for some period. But we should know for how long the articles can be retained at the office. So a post restant article can be kept at the post office. It can be detained at the post office for a period not exceeding 1 month. I repeat, this is very important point. The facility can be availed not exceeding 3 months. But how long can the article can be retained? The post restant article, it can be kept at the post offices for a period not exceeding 1 month, except VP, except value payable articles. A value payable article, even if it is mass post restant, it will be kept at the post office only to the period of 7 days, and after this 7 days, if it is been unclaimed, it will be definitely returned to the sender. So, three important points. The facility can be availed by a stranger or a traveler for not more than 3 months. The article will be retained for 1 month except value payable articles, and the value payable articles will be retained not exceeding 7 days. It will be retained for only 7 days of time. So, this is about this post restant articles. So, we'll end up this session with this clause 65 and we'll see the rest of the classes in the next upcoming classes. Thank you all and thank you so much.
Comrades, I hope you would have enjoyed this program. What are all the organization and what are all the rulings provided in the guide? You have gone through everything. Please go through once again. It is in the YouTube channel only, Yours KVS YouTube channel only. You can go through once again. You read well again and again so that everything you can grasp very easily and you can write the examination very effectively. Please don't forget to subscribe the YouTube channel Yours KVS. If you subscribe this channel, naturally you will get the notification as and when we are making the posting, fresh posting, not only for the classes but also the latest developments taken place in the department and also the orders and everything. You will definitely be benefited, and so don't fail to subscribe the YouTube channel. With this we are concluding. We will see again. Thank you very much. Meet again, comrades. Yours KVS.